Hi, I'm Chris Rogers from Rockin' Waves 11294, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer, W. Boudreaux. As you guys can see, I got a panel of people here for this week's Impact Wrestling review. Let me go ahead and introduce him. First off, he's our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/Lance Moss TV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
He's the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. Will, what's up?
Fucking weather sucks. Couldn't even watch my show, man. I'm just gonna get the one person I'm looking at, and that's the guy with the, I don't know, looks like a whole lot like that guy that used to beat up on me back in high school. Come get some.
Oh.
I'm good to be here. Sorry.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, he came so close. I mean, look, he and the Trilogy and David Silver were that close to winning the WGS-TV Tag Team Tournament, but they just did not do it, ladies and gentlemen. He is Mr. Ashton Spears. Mr. Spears, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Billy. And you can add Mid-South Extreme Triple Crown Champion, and now you are a Mid-South Heavyweight Champion.
Well, that's an incredible list of credentials you have there, Mr. Spears. But right now, we're going to look at Impact Wrestling for the week of February 6th, 2014. And, man, you want to talk about a way to jumpstart Impact Wrestling last night. The Monsters Ball match with Abyss and Eric Young. Wow. We talk about a kick-ass way to start the show. I mean, they were doing all kinds of, insane spots, stuff I gotta say this, though, that this Monsters Ball match was indeed a lot better. And I know they did one earlier in the year, but this one they did last night far exceeded what they did earlier in the year. Well, Will's distracted. I do apologize about that. But Lance, let me go to you for that. Like I was saying, last night's Monsters Ball match really far exceeded the one they did earlier in the year, or in 2013, I should say.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I'll say this, bro. I mean, Abyss is back and TNA needed it. But isn't Eric Young probably the most unused person in TNA? He can talk, he can entertain, and he can go. I don't understand what TNA's thinking, but this is one hell of a match. Ain't that right, boys?
Oh, it definitely was. Yeah. And something also to bring up, before the finish of the match, Eric Young pulled off the mask of Abyss. Abyss gives him the Black Hole Sam, and he gets the win. But then he picks up a shard from a broken mirror, and he's looking at himself and notices the mask is off, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to react to that. It's kind of a weird... because for the longest time, I've hated the Joseph Park character, but I gotta say, at the conclusion of that match, I was just left a little bit confused.
Confusion? Like Lance's closet door, I'm seeing confused. I don't even know what y'all talking about. I had a phone call. What were y'all talking about so I can catch up to speed?
The Monsters Ball match from last night.
Wait. Oh, yeah. As I'm catching up on TNA, you know what? I didn't think Eric Young was going extreme for what he did. I mean, there were spots there to where he didn't even think a small guy like him versus a big guy like a big. Oh, man. Did you catch that powerbomb that he did on the thumbtacks? Fuck that. It just makes you back want to cringe over like a Halloween movie. Overall, I'll give the match a 3, and just the mask pull. Yeah, I don't know where TNA is going to go through with this. I don't know. But good match. The match pull at the end. We'll see what goes throughout the weeks to come.
Well, MVP comes out next to speak as the new TNA investor and say things are going to change in there. You know, that management will start respecting the fans and the talent. And that kind of prompts Rockstar Spud to come out saying that Dixie Carter wanted to speak to him in the back, wanted to welcome him with open arms, and that prompted MVP to make a main event match. Or a match, rather, a non-title match, Magnus against Kurt Angle, and that really already had epic written all over it. But this is something that people have been talking about. What happened next? First off, Curry Man was back, the king of spice. You know, he's hot, he's spicy, he tastes great, and did I ever think I would say that on a WGS-TV review? But out comes Bully Ray with the coffin, saying that Curryman was in the wrong place and the wrong time, pile drives Curryman, knocks him out, and then stuffs him into the coffin, and then next thing you know, he says, Mr. Anderson, I'm going to end your career. And Mr. Spears, I can only imagine when they do finally clash in the coffin match, I guess they're calling it now, then this match is going to be kind of crazy.
Definitely, man. I think Anderson has something to prove because lately his matches have been subpar, but him and TNA lately has been doing a couple of things right, and this is one of them, the slow build-up between them two. This should be a great match. Bully Ray's in mainframe.
No, definitely.
I really like the build-up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got to agree with you on that one, you know, because like I said, it's getting people talking about it. That's what it is, and that's what, in my opinion, some segments need to do, is to get people talking about it, and one main thing they're talking about is Bully Ray, the coffin, and Mr. Anderson. But up next, another person who was talking, it was Austin Aries. Austin Aries came out with the new X Division champion, stating that, you know, he created Option C for the X Division title belt, and he had every intent and purpose to repeat what he's done. And then next thing you know, Bromance comes out, and that leads to DJ Zema Ion attacking him from behind. We think it's just going to be a smash and grab, but it turns out to not be that, as Aries came back with the Brainbuster on Zema Ion, and it's still the X Division champion is indeed Austin Aries. I got to say, right person to have the belt right now is indeed Austin Aries. Now, one thing that kind of bothered me, there are a couple of things I just want to make an honorable mention of. First thing, Christy Hemme apparently saw the footage of Samuel Shaw with that little shrine with the mannequin, which was kind of creepy. I don't understand the purpose of the gimmick right now for Samuel Shaw, but Christy Hemme approached him about it and said, you know what, we're just co-workers, let's leave it at that. And apparently Mr. Shaw was not happy about that situation. Another thing I just want to make an honorable mention of. We saw Chris Sabin apparently looked like he wanted to propose to Velvet Sky. And my first initial reaction was, you bastard. Give me a break, she's hot. Then it turns out to be that the box was empty. There was no ring in the box. Sabin got in her face and said, you know what, I'm challenging you. If I understood that correctly, he's challenged her to a match and next week on Impact Wrestling. So apparently this is kind of a repeat of Chris Jericho and Trish Stratus. I'm not sure. I wonder how many of you guys remember that. But I don't know. It's just something about, you know, Velvet Sky is just pure hotness. You never, you know, if I was on some unfortunate plane of this universe, in any dimension, if I had the lucky opportunity to be going out with Velvet Sky, she would be treated like a queen. Not like what they did to her on Impact. But I know it's just storyline, but you kind of get what I'm saying here. Help, I'm lonely. Anyway, on to this matchup made by MVP Magnus and Kurt Angle. Something to really talk about with this one, Lance, is what happened to cause the finish of the match. Angle had the ankle locked in on Magnus when Ethan Carter III appears out of nowhere, chop blocks Kurt Angle, and then just viciously assaulted the left knee of Kurt Angle. What were your thoughts when you were seeing this happening from Ethan Carter III?
Whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. But then again, I thought I've heard some little rumblings from some certain sites. I think it's just him, Kurt, want a little break.
Well, yes, yeah, because they also did make the announcement that in 3 weeks' time, I think over in London, that they are going to officially do the Hall of Fame induction of Kurt Angle, and I'm going to say right now, as the company stands, Kurt Angle does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. TNA Hall of Fame, I don't know. WWE Hall of Fame, I would say somewhere within the span of 5 to 10 years, we might see that happen. But
yeah.
But up next, we had apparently a number one contenders match. Now, we thought Samoa Joe was the number one contender. Apparently, Dixie Carter threw up a roadblock and put Bobby Roode in a number one contenders match against Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe a little amped up about what happened to Kurt Angle, saying that, there are no roadblocks that I can't go through, whether it's a match of attrition or something else. But it ended with Samoa Joe with the Kikita clutch on Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode taps out like all the fans wanted him to. We even heard the chant. And Samoa Joe retains his number one contendership. So apparently I'm not even sure if they set a date not for this, for the championship match for Samoa Joe and Magnus, but apparently they're still going to have it. Now, throughout the course of the evening, MVP was talking backstage with Dixie Carter in her dressing room about some of the concerns of TNA, and MVP brought it up to her, like, if we're going to talk about TNA, we need to talk about it in front of the people who matter most to TNA, and that's the fans. So they brought it out to the ring. Dixie Carter, still trying to plead her case, like, oh, the fans love me. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and Dixieland was a good idea. Not. Then MVP goes on to say, you know what? Things are going to change. The party is over. Mr. Spears, I ask you this question. Is TNA now worth watching now that we have talents like MVP in there and also talents like Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, the Wolves?
Honestly, TNA is doing something right. They're moving forward. But the whole MVP thing, man, don't it remind you of the same speech Hogan and Bischoff and them gave, doesn't it? MVP, in my opinion only, great in-ring worker, was never above mid-card status in WWE. He went to Japan and was great. But this is once again TNA taking a former WWE superstar and trying to push him on top and give him this big push. Is it a right step? Yes, because I'd much rather hear MVP cut promos instead of Hogan or Bischoff. Do I like it? Anybody's better than Dixie Carter. Let's all just be honest here. It's worth watching. It's worth watching. And I wanted to say what you said about Kurt Angle. I think Angle does belong in the TNA Hall of Fame just because for the last, I think, 7 or 8 years, he's pretty much put that company on his back and tried to, with Sting and a couple other people, and tried to bring it big. And WWE Hall of Fame is a Grand Slam champion. I mean, let's face it, Angle is a wrestling machine, but I'm glad Samoa Joe's back. Austin Aries is the man. You got Eric Young, Abyss's Angle. TNA is on fire right now, and it's so better than a WWE product minus CM Punk, isn't it?
Yep, on that note, guys and gals, it is now time to go to fan comments. What did you fans think of Impact Wrestling last night? I posted it up on the Facebook page on facebook.com/WGS-TV. And for once this week, guys, we actually got a response which is kind of shocking as of late. But anyway, we got a response from Nathan Drake Gilchrist. He said, "It was great, and I like how MVP told Dixie Carter the truth about her almost bankrupting a good company, and for the first time in a while, makes me feel good to be a TNA fan. Looking forward to the next couple of weeks." Interesting comments there, Nathan. And yeah, with this angle now, with MVP as the investor, and also you gotta, just to reiterate what Mr. Spears just said, with Abyss and Eric Young, especially for Bully Ray and Mr. Anderson, that angle, as well as the build-up between Magnus and Samoa Joe, you got that there as well. So it really, TNA is doing something right now. I mean, they really are starting to gel with some of their angles to make it worth watching. So I gotta agree with you with on that comment there, Nathan. So thank you very much for sending in the comments. And guys and gals, whenever we do have live shows on TV, I will ask every night after the show is over for your fan comments. And again, just like what we did for Nathan right here, any comments submitted, you guys will have your names heard out loud, whether it be on Facebook, on Twitter. It doesn't matter. Put your comments in there. If you do it on Twitter, I'll give you a shout out for your Twitter handle, or if you do it on Facebook, I'll read your name out loud for here on the review. Speaking of that, it's time to go to overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Impact Wrestling this week. First off, Impact Wrestling this week was indeed a good, solid show. It was really interesting, to see the follow-up, where they were going to go with MVP as the new investor of TNA. You also had the Monsters Ball match, which was a featured match, and like I said, they did that match a lot better than they did in one in 2013. So I was very happy to see that they actually used weapons. I think in the one they did in 2013, I don't think they really even used any weapons. It was just kind of like a no disqualification match all over the place, and that was pretty much it. But I gotta say, Magnus and Kurt Angle was good. So was Samoa Joe and Magnus. Overall, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It's been a while since I've been able to give Impact Wrestling a 4 out of 5, guys. But, this one from last night definitely deserves that credit from me. Best match of the night, I'm going to go to the Monsters Ball match with Abyss and Eric Young. I kind of like that little bit of an extreme match, to see that on TV again. And we had that opportunity with Abyss and Eric Young, and they did not disappoint. It was a really, really good Monsters Ball match. I was thoroughly entertained. It kind of gives you a little bit of a flow to start with, and I like that. Worst segment of the night, anything to do with Dixie Carter. I can't stand her. I've said it time in and time out. If you want an overbearing female heel in wrestling, bring back Karen Jarrett. Dixie Carter cannot pull it off. She's just as bad as Michael Cole trying to sell himself as a heel. He was trying to, he just overdid it too much. And that's what I feel Dixie Carter is doing. That and lack of experience on the microphone. Dixie Carter cannot sell herself as a heel. Maybe she's the Vicky Guerrero of TNA. Who knows? Because whenever Vicky Guerrero comes on the WWE, they boo the crap. Excuse me, y'all. They boo the crap out of her, and that's what they were doing to Dixie Carter. So maybe there are some similarities to it. You never know. But on that note, let's go over to Lance and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Impact Wrestling.
Well, I gotta give it a 4 out of 5, and best match was Monsters Ball. Worst match and best segment are one and the same, though. Because the Bully Ray and Crayman match sucked, but that in part
wasn't really a match. It was just
the best
a fight.
segment. It was a beatdown, basically. And best that's about it. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
All right, let's go to Will next and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Impact Wrestling.
Alright, even though I was halfway through Impact, this is going to be very simple. Overall, I'm going to give it a 3.5. Best match, I'm sorry, I'm not to throw salt, but I think it was the Eric Young Abyss match. I mean, when is the last time we really watched a Monsters Ball match? I thought that was interesting. Didn't like the ending, but blah. Worst segment, I'm sorry. Chris Sabin and the Velvet Sky one. I mean, really, Sabin? You're really going to call out Velvet Sky to a match? What the hell? Anybody explain that? What the hell? What the hell? Oh,
I don't think anybody can.
Okay, and there was a spot I don't think anybody catched on Impact, but there was a spot where EC3 looked a little bit scared when he came to see Aunt Dixie, because she thought it was MVP, but it was only EC3, and he wanted something to eat. Man, if you're gonna eat on TV, make it look interesting. Like, I mean, you're skinny enough. Good fuck. But overall, it's a 3.5.
And finally, we go to Mr. Spears and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Impact Wrestling.
Just like y'all, 4 out of 5. Monster Ball stole the show. My worst segment, that Stalker segment with, whatever his name is.
Samuel Shaw.
I mean, man, didn't they remember what being a stalker did to DDP in WWE? Like, really? Seriously? Worst segment of the night. A close tie would be Chris Sabin calling out Velvet Sky. I totally agree with that. But man, 4 out of 5 from TNA is great. I would give it a 5 out of 5. But, I mean, no wrestling show is perfect. But for TNA, this is the best Impact I've seen in a long time.
Yep, definitely, guys and gals. You heard what we had to say. What we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Impact Wrestling. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Impact Wrestling? We want to hear definitely from you guys out there. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR reviews, redneck gourmet cooking videos, Q&As, and where else pops into my head.
And when he's not dreaming of James naked trying to hatch an egg on his head, the Bay Area MVP known as Will is over on the hood on uVlog. Will, what you got coming up?
Damn.
Yeah, you better be talking about Green Hates and Ham over there. Tonight's SmackDown, people. I heard this SmackDown has a good card, so I'm going to plan to watch it, and pretty much just going to kick back this weekend. Nothing really special, but SmackDown will be on tonight, folks, so try to watch it. It's going to be a good card.
And ladies and gentlemen, right here, right now on the Impact Review, we also have some breaking news for Mid-South Extreme. 2 show dates have officially been announced, right, Mr. Spears?
Oh, that's correct. March 28th, Station Bar and Grill. Once again, Mid-South Extreme presents the takeover. Confirmed matches will be Christian Blake versus Trucker Jones. If Christian beats Trucker, he gets a rematch the next night for the title. Another confirmed match will be Flip Jackson coming after my coveted Triple Crown Championship, which he won't win because he's a loser. Okay. And then the next night, we go back home to Abbeville, Louisiana, as it's 3 matches, 2 companies, 1 sole survivor, as I defend my Triple Crown Championship against 3 other men, and then Flip Jackson and a mystery partner go against Rodney Mack in Hollywood. That's right. WWE Superstar, ECW Superstar Rodney Mack is back home in Mid-South Extreme. And Trucker Jones will defend his title in Mid-South Extreme. The question is, will it be against Christian Blake or somebody else? Well, once again, I thank all of y'all for giving me your time. You can find me on 3Fam TV on YouTube or Lucas Spielberg channel, one of the 2. But I'm always hanging out with the only announcer I know, Billy Boudreaux is the best in the business. I love WGS-TV. So y'all be good, fellas. I gotta go because my 1-year-old's about to super kick me if I don't get all this phone.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Spears. And guys and gals, don't forget to keep an eye on Facebook.com/Mid-South Extreme for more information on these two show dates. Again, it's March 28th at the Station Bar and Grill in Broussard, Louisiana, and March 29th at the American Legion Hall in Abbeville, Louisiana. As soon as the ticket information becomes available, it will be made available to you guys on the Facebook page. And speaking of that, don't forget to like the Facebook page of WGS-TV, Facebook.com/WGS-TV. And don't forget to please subscribe to YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and YouTube.com/ZFXTV Network if you haven't already. So with that being said, for Mr. Ashton Spears, the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV and the Bay Area MVP known as Will, I'm the WrestleGamer, Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.